Hello Zebras, welcome back to LHS Live. I'm your host Davis Brandy. In this episode we will recap the senior meetings, have an interview with one of the top reporters in Sacramento, Mr. Ash will respond to Mr. Lowe, and some inspiration from Zudi. LHS Live starts right now. LHS's Nightmare on J Street homecoming tickets are now available on the LHS Go Fan page. Tickets are $25 for general admission and $20 for students with their ASB stickers. Guest pass forms are available on the LHS Go Fan link or in the office. For seniors, the next couple of weeks are critical for their future. To make sure we clear up any confusion with deadlines and applications, I spoke with Ms. Sandoval to get the breakdown.
Oh, hi, everyone. My name is Mrs. Sandoval, in case you don't know who I am, and I'm one of the counselors, and I work with students whose last names are D-O through L-A. And I was asked just to give a little talk about the senior meetings that are coming up and the presentations that we just did with the seniors. So hopefully I can answer any questions you guys have. So CSU and UC are kind of big deadlines. Those applications are due, both the applications are due November 30th, and there's no exceptions to that. So the UC application is already open for you to start filling out and kind of get to work on. UC application takes a little bit longer because you have to do the personal insight questions. So it's a really good idea to kind of get started on that and see what the application is all about. But like I said, both applications are due by November 30th. The October 25th through 28th, we're going to be coming into your classes and making sure you've gotten a good start on it, maybe checking over your applications that you've already done to provide you with that support to make sure you get the application done accurately and to remind you to do it on time by November 30th. FAFSA opens October 1st, and technically the students want to do it as soon as possible, but it's definitely not due. We're actually having a Cash for College night November 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. here on campus in the computer labs, and that's a perfect time to come on campus and get help to fill out the FAFSA. Come with your parents, they can bring all their tax information and the supporting documentation, and you'll get expert help to fill it out. Technically, the priority deadline isn't until March 2nd, so you still got some time, and we hope that y'all plan on coming to the FAFSA night on November 9th. We have an application information session on October 11th. It's going to be here on campus. I think we're going to be doing it like during lunchtime in the theater. Mrs. Court sent the email out with instructions for how to make your Calendly appointment to meet with your counselor. All you have to do is follow the link that was provided to you in your email, and that's your WPUSD Google email. Just click on the link for your counselor, and you can make your own appointment and get all your questions answered and get an individualized plan for all the things that you need to do this year.
Now it's time for sports with Zach Giles.
Hi, I'm Zach Giles, bringing you sports for this week. Varsity and JV football leagues start this week at Nevada Union. Speaking of football, the zoo has been showing out this year at every game, and Davis Brandy was able to catch up with the man our zoo loves, Cameron Solerno.
Hello Zebras, welcome to the second interview on the show, and this time we have a very special guest, prep reporter and journalist for the Sacramento Bee, Cameron Solerno. Thank you for coming on, Cameron.
Thanks for having me. I'm really honored to be here. It's cool to speak to classes in the Sacramento area and just give insight to kids and help them out. I mean, hopefully one day I'll become a teacher and after my journalism career, or even be a teacher and journalist at the same time. But yeah, honored to be here.
Awesome, thank you for coming on. A lot of people in the industry don't really know how to get their foot in the door, type of thing. So what did you do to get in the industry, and how should other students do that?
Right, so when I was 15 years old, I was lucky enough to get an opportunity at the Roseville Press Tribune. And I was still a high school student at Wood Creek High School. I was always someone who loved sports and loved journalism, but I knew that if I wanted to advance it, I had to get an internship. And so I was lucky enough where the Roseville Press Tribune reached out to me. And I was at a high school football game. I was I was just at a game just by myself with my friends. It was a Friday night. It was Oak Ridge, Wood Creek, and Oak Ridge's quarterback was Ian Book, and he went to Notre Dame, and now he's in the NFL. And I was giving updates to Stephen Wilson, who was at the time at the Roseville Press Tribune. I was just saying, hey, like, here's the score. I know you can't cover everything. Like, I was just giving advice or giving him scores as a high school student. And he's like, hey, we're looking for an intern. Like, would you be interested? I was like, I've always kind of wanted to get into journalism. Just, I always like right now is like sports. So I thought it was a good marriage, and I ended up being there for 2 years and loved it, and really advanced my career. But like I said, a lot of kids, when they first start off, they just don't know where to start. And people are lucky enough to have experiences in high school where they're working for their student paper or they're doing stuff like this. So I think the experiences that you have right now and in the classroom, it's really important to learn. But what I tell kids is a lot of things you're going to learn are stuff outside the classroom, and going to events and talking to people and interviewing and making connections. That's where you're really going to learn how to be a journalist. So I would say that's the advice I have for kids, because a lot of kids, like I said, they don't know where to start, and you just have to kind of just dive headfirst into it.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned Ian Book, local alumni here. What would be your Mount Rushmore of high school football athletes from Sac?
That's a good question, man. So I would say I started really covering 2015, 16-ish. That was my first year. So I'd probably put Jonah Williams, who's in the NFL, on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'd probably have to go Joseph Magada, who's from Folsom. Jake Brown, and obviously another Folsom guy. And then that third, I might throw Ian Book on there. There's a lot of really good talent that's coming out of this area in recent years too. And I would probably say Book. Just because just the pedigree of his career, but there's definitely a lot of really talented players that have come out of this area and gone on to the Division I ranks and even the professional ranks. So yeah, there's a lot of guys you could put on that list, but I would say Jonah Williams is probably the best player I've seen, just because, from a sheer talent. He was a huge offensive lineman. You can just tell he's going to play on Sundays one day. But yeah, I would say, him and Browning and the Goddard are the three best players I've seen. That fourth is really up for debate, but yeah, Folsom's had a lot of talent in this area. They've been dominant for years.
Yeah. And then going back to Lincoln, who is probably the greatest athlete you've seen here at Lincoln High School? Any sport?
That's a good question. I really like the running back this year. He's really, really talented player going to Air Force. So I would say him. And then the linebacker from last year too. He was really, really
Jordan
good.
Wagner.
Yeah, Jordan Wagner. Wagner was a really good player. I think he was our defensive player of the year at the Sacramento Bee. So I would say him or Henning, the running back.
Yeah, Ryan Henning and Jordan Wagner, big studs.
Girls volleyball suffered a loss in their first league game to Nevada Union, but quickly bounced back with the big win against Placer. In cross-country news, Jaden Trujillo and Evan Carlton sniffed raced at the Angels camp, with Jaden coming in second with a time of 16:53, and Evan came in 16th with a time of 17:43. In other news, Week 2 of the NFL is officially over, and it was even crazier than the first. The Chiefs pulled out a close one against the Chargers in a thriller. The Raiders did their best Falcons impression and blew a 20-point lead to the Cardinals. Aaron Rodgers showed that he still owns the Bears, and the Niners finally got over the hump and beat the Seahawks. Bittersweet feeling, though, as Trey Lance is now out for the season. Prayers out to him for a speedy recovery. The Niners will now move forward with Jimmy G as their starter again. Good luck, Niner fans. That about wraps it up for LHS Live Sports, and now back to Davis.
The junior girls will take on the senior girls for the LHS Powder Puff title on October 4th at 6 p.m. Tickets can be purchased for $5 on GoFan. In the previous show, Mr. Lowe took some shots at Mr. Ash, and the 12 Bridges teacher took it personally and answered back.
Why is your mic breaking?
I don't know.
We have new mics here.
Oh.
You should use some of ours.
You probably stole it from us.
Probably.
What are your thoughts on Mr. Lau's homecoming proposal?
Who are you thinking of taking to homecoming this year?
Oh, Mr. Ash.
Why?
Well, he's kind of tall, and he used to be blonde, and he doesn't have much hair anymore. But it's sort of athletic, but I think he's kind of fits the type I like.
First of all, I wasn't entirely sure who Ken Lau was. At first, I thought it was your athletic director, Coach Patterson, and I was like, oh, well, that's really nice of him. And then I was like, dude. Kind of busy this weekend. So I was actually thinking, I was like, you wanna know what? Next year, I'll go to homecoming with Mr. Lowe, but we need to set something up. We should set up a basketball game in Ken Lau's honor. Hey, so we'll host it. Landon, you want to play? That'd be fun. That would be fun.
Mr. Lowe, the ball is in your court. Not
Have
really
you seen that guy
Bridges'
dribble?
court.
Have you seen that guy dribble? He can't dribble either. He's really unathletic. It's bad.
A few minutes later.
The audio totally cut out. So is it a yes or a no?
Wait, you're asking me again?
Yeah, is it just a yes or a no?
I gave him, I'm not sure. He needs to get back to me. I'm calling him right now.
Oh, you're calling him right now?
I don't think the audio cut out.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So I offered a basketball game so we could like test the student sections back and forth next year. If you say yes to that, I'll go to homecoming with you. If you tear your hamstring, you're banned from LHS Live for 2 years.
Okay, please, let's see where I'm.
Okay, air shake on it. No practice, air shake. Okay, cool. $1,000. Later.
To wrap up the show, our very own Christian Diolos went around Lincoln to get quotes to feed your soul. I do have to warn you, these quotes will change your life.
My name's Christian Diolos, and I'm with Ayana Woods.
With Matt Cummings, and today's September 19th, and here's his quote of the day. If I make a mistake, it's on me, not the whole world.
And this is her quote of the day.
Life is like a toaster. Nobody cares until the bread pops up.
Morris, what's the quote of the day?
What? Would I rather be loved or feared? That's the question? Easy, both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.
Thank you. Chauncey, what's up? What's the quote of the day?
To become rich, you must first exploit the poor.
Kevin, what's your quote of the day?
Sometimes I just look in the mirror and talk to myself, just like I talk to a real one.
Thank you for watching LHS Live. Tune in next week for an interview with a cross-country star and a returning segment. Have a good day, Zebras.